to do one thing before I get started. Anyone else ever feel like letting out a primal scream just like that? Yeah. How many of you also feel like screaming today because the world feels like a broken place? Yeah, I thought so. On January 29th of this year, our beloved friend from Sesame Street, Elmo, posted on the platform X. Yeah, even Elmo has an account. Elmo posted, "Just checking in. How's everyone doing?" And the responses, they were astounding. Hundreds of thousands of responses, from celebrities to corporations to people just like us. These responses were concerning because they were filled with depression, anxiety, and ongoing crises. Many of us feel this way today because the real human connection, it's under attack. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. In homes, in schools, at parks, at weddings, at restaurants, at play dates, at dinner tables. There's no escaping it. And these attacks, they're indiscriminate. They impact the old and the young, the poor and the wealthy, all races, all religions, all sexes, all nationalities. Anyone with a device. Ding, 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 ding. They get more and more aggressive each day. Ask yourself, when was the last time you went a full day without picking up your device while walking, driving, or talking to someone else? And that's the problem. You see, in this world today, we've never been so connected. Yet in reality, we've never been so disconnected. We are under attack by our own devices. And to make matters worse, right, the stories that we do tell, they're just the cherry-picked highlights, altering not only our own mindset, but the perception of those around us, making various attempts at our mental health. And something has to change. But perhaps the reason this happens is that the most common form of connecting today is that question of, ready? How are you? We've all asked it, right? Listen, that question is no more than a mere formality, a script, a greeting, something we use without really diving in to the depths of what the answers are. And the responses that we do get, they're good, great, okay, busy, or beware of the worst response of them all, fine. You know what it stands for? Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. How many of you have ever felt fine before? Okay, hopefully not right now. All right. So when we ask that robotic question, how are you? We don't get the real story. In fact, we don't even get the true story. Let's just see. How many of you have ever lied about your answer before? When somebody asked you how you were, you said you were good, but you lied. Oh, yeah. Okay, so great. Now we're not only not communicating well, but we're also lying to each other. Oh, my goodness. But here's the thing. Sometimes we do answer, not good. Okay, I could be better, and we want to be heard. But those answers, they go unheard, missed, or possibly even ignored. There has never been a greater need for us to transform our conversations than right now. I'm just wondering, how about no more how are yous? How about instead we switch it up, we change it up, and we try something like a temperature check, okay? Imagine this. We have a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is a day where you don't feel like peopling at all. Stay in bed, no peopling. To 10 being, it is a day all sunshine and rainbows, not a worry in the world, living your best life at a 10, all right? So imagine this. We meet, bam, throw up a number on our emotional scale, and right there, a legitimate conversation starts, real connection. But you know what? Let's just try it out for fun. All right, everybody get your hands ready. When I say go, I'm going to ask that you throw up your number on your emotional scale. Remember, 1, to 10, oh yeah. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, first of all, I love all of you overachievers who went before I said go. I see you. Well done, well done. Hold those up again. Let's see. All right, incredible. From here, I can see we have a mixed bag, and that is awesome. You see, we all get caught up trying to be on our A game in this perpetual good mood every day because that's what people tell us to do. But let's face it, real world, the rules don't always play by that. And so we actually start to give a number. We start to have legitimate conversations. Because the truth is, unlike our connected selves, finding a perfect 10 sometimes is as rare as finding a 4-leaf clover. And that is perfectly normal and okay. When we start to ask even better questions, we start to make even better connections and have conversations something like this. Hey, David, rocking a 7. That's awesome. What's the secret sauce to your 7? Or maybe like this. Hey, Hannah, you're a 3. What's impacting your day-to-day to make you a 3? What can I do to support you even more? When we start listening to the answers and really start hearing each other and having even better conversations, it's incredible what impact we can have. But listen, we're all going to have those low number days, and that's okay. I can actually remember one of mine very clearly. It was this year's Making Strides breast cancer fundraiser walk. And each year I wake up filled with emotions. This year it's a bit harder as I realize it's been 7 years since my good friend has passed away. Coupled with that, this year I'm also walking for my friend who lost her mom. The day is like it is every year, mixed with so many different emotions. And I'm full of them. You get to the walk, and there are warriors, there are survivors, there are people that are grieving, and there are people that are there to help fight. But this year, I have to switch gears pretty quickly because I promised my daughter I would head to her Halloween extravaganza. Picture this, 6 little girls under the age of 8, ready for candy, chaos, and crafts. Whew! I don't get to stay for the whole walk, so I shift gears, I head there really fast. Talk about an emotional shift. Whoa. By the time the day ends, I am at a solid 2. I rush home and I only have about 30 minutes to get ready for my coveted date night with my husband. We get in the car, and the first thing he says, "Hey, how are you?" And I say, "I'm fine." And I was. And then he stops himself and he says, "Fine? Hang on a second. What's your number?" He gets me. I said, "I'm a 2. A 2? Do you not want to go on date night?" Wait a second. A 2? Why a 2? And in that moment, he asked me an intentional question. He and I had the most incredible conversation in that moment. You see, if he had just stopped at fine, we may have eventually gotten to that conversation, maybe not, but he saw me, he heard me, he connected with me. Let's face facts, though. We're all surfing some emotional wave every day, right? Feeling fine that we talked about. And the world's pressures, they're real. And unlike our connected selves, right? If you look closely in the chaos of social media, it shows that our worlds are on fire. But amidst all of that noise, there's also messages there nudging us, telling us we need to shake things up, we need to do something different, and we can do it. There's a shared humanity that binds us. Research shows that those who interact excessively with their device spend less time spending face-to-face with others, which in turn increases loneliness and depression. Ooh, and depression is a sneaky beast. The U.S. Surgeon General recently reported that almost half of the adults in the U.S. have reported feeling lonely. Health officials have also said in the last few years there's been a spike in anxiety and depression. No surprise, right? Depression impacts over 18 million adults in any given year. It's the leading cause of disability for those aged 15 to 44. And worldwide, depression impacts over 300 million people. Recently, Newsweek did a study where scientists found that blood ready for transfusion, they discovered that 70% contained Xanax. The drug used had traces of Xanax. 70% had traces of Xanax, the drug used for anxiety and depression. Depression is the reason why someone commits suicide every 12 minutes. Depression is the second leading cause of suicide, or suicide is the second leading cause of death in those ages 10 to 14, and the third leading cause of death in those ages 15 to 24. Yes, you heard me right. Any guesses which age group excessively uses their devices? But these numbers, they're more just numbers on a report or numbers on a screen. They are a cry. They are a call for us to connect and to start to see each other and really focus on the people around us. And when we slow down, We get to get the most incredible stories, but we also, when we look up and notice the real world around us, the stories change. I know firsthand how it can make a difference. It was a Chicago night, and I was rushing home from work. I was running late. It was freezing. I got to the train platform, and I waited there with 100 other people, ready for those doors to open. As the doors opened, we all rushed onto that train. It was the definition of rush hour. We got on there, shoving our way on, trying to find our way in. Finally, I make my way to the pole. I put my hand on the pole, and I did it. That's when it happened. I touched someone. I did. I touched someone. I did. I was like, oh my goodness, I felt so bad. I wanted to look at her and say I was sorry. I looked to say I was sorry, and that's when I noticed. I saw her eyes filled with tears, her body physically upset. And I knew as another human I had to do something. So this time, I purposely touched her again, and I squeezed her hand just a little bit. And I looked at her, and I said, when she looked at me, I said, it's going to be okay. Whatever it is, it will be okay. She felt seen. I left my hand there for the rest of that train ride. And before I got off, the doors opened, I squeezed one more time, and I looked at her, and I said, are you okay? And she looked at me, and she said, I am better now. Thank you. And in that moment, I felt her energy shift. And sometimes that's all that it takes. Imagine if I had rushed on that train and made my device a priority. I would have missed out on that incredible, genuine, authentic connection. But everybody has a unique and unusual story to tell each day. And it's when we do just that, we slow down, we look up, we make the real world a priority, we get to hear the most incredible stories. But let's face it, we're all rushing around all of the time, rushing to get here, rushing to get there, rushing to get everywhere. I was rushing one morning. I was running late for work. I woke up, I was running late, I was hungry, I didn't get my coffee, and I was just mad. I was hangry. I rushed out the door, and I realized, oh my goodness, I forgot my snacks for the team. And if you know me, you know I love snacks for my team. I forgot the snacks. I had to find the most closest place to run in and get some snacks. I had a mission. Get into that parking lot, get in the store, and get out. I squeal into the parking lot. I get out. I run through the store. I even attempt to go to self-checkout because that's going to be the fastest. And I get there, and it happens. Good morning. How are you? Before I can stop myself, a reflexive lie comes out of my mouth, and I say, I'm good. I wasn't good. I wasn't good at all. But I stop myself, and instead of respond back, how are you, I changed the conversation. And I said, I'm good. What's going to be the best part of your day today? And in that moment, she shared with me, it was her 1-year anniversary at the job. Amazing! Congratulations. It's working. You're glowing. She said, thank you. I got the job 2 months after my husband of 17 years had passed. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, realizing it was the anniversary of her husband passing. I'm so sorry. To which she responded, I'm not sorry. For 17 years, I wasn't allowed to have my own job. I wasn't allowed to do my own thing. I wasn't allowed to have my own friends. This job and my husband's passing gave me the ability to rediscover myself. Wasn't expecting that. Wow. And I said, thank you so much for sharing that. It's incredible. Can I give you a hug? I'm a hugger. And she said, sure. And we hugged. And in that moment, in a routine, super fast grocery store visit, all because of an intentional question, we had a much different outcome. And 2 humans had a genuine connection. I saw her. I connected with her. And it felt so good. You know, in a world where connections feel often fleeting, now is this time for us all to look up, ask even better questions, put our devices down when we're with other people. Because it's not just about the randomness. It's about the intention behind our connections. And when we take that chance, it's incredible what all of us can do in this world. So I ask of you all today, for us together, in the beginning I asked how many of you felt like the world was a broken place. I saw all of your nods. I saw those. So today, let's all agree to work together and change that. Here are 2 things I ask that we do. Number 1, let's all start to look and see the people in our world. Notice them around us. No more how are yous. Change the conversation. Second, Put your devices down and be fully present. Take in the world around you, engage, be alive, and see people. I was once told a saying that you can't hug the world. Okay. Well, I think that when we all start wrapping our arms around the people in our world, the people in our world will feel hugged, both metaphorically and literally. And when we do that, more people will feel loved, will feel heard, will feel understood, will feel connected, and we will create a butterfly effect. It starts with us.